History is not just about the past, it's about the questions we still cannot answer. This is Untoldia, and tonight we explore a place that may have rewritten the story of civilization itself. For decades, historians believed that human civilization followed a clear path. First, we learned to farm. Then, we built permanent settlements. And only much later did we construct temples and organized religious spaces. Agriculture came first, civilization followed. But in southeastern Turkey, on a quiet hill overlooking the plains, archaeologists uncovered something that challenges that entire sequence. A vast stone complex, carved nearly 12,000 years ago, long before the pyramids of Egypt, long before Stonehenge, long before writing. This place is called Göbekli Tepe, and it may force us to rethink everything we thought we knew about early humanity. The site was first noted in the 1960s, but it was dismissed as a medieval cemetery. It wasn't until 1994 that serious excavation began under German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt. What emerged from beneath the soil was astonishing. Massive T-shaped limestone pillars, some weighing up to 20 tons, arranged in circular formations, carefully positioned, deliberately designed. The pillars were not blank. They were carved with intricate reliefs of animals, foxes, snakes, vultures, wild boars. The carvings were precise, symbolic, intentional. And the dating of the site shocked historians. Göbekli Tepe was constructed around 9600 BCE. At that time, according to traditional understanding, humans were still hunter-gatherers. They had not yet developed agriculture, they had no permanent cities, no metal tools, no writing system. Yet here stood a monumental complex requiring planning, coordination, engineering, and artistic skill. How did groups of hunter-gatherers organize the labor required to quarry, transport, and erect stones weighing several tons? How did they plan circular enclosures with architectural symmetry? Why would people without permanent settlements invest such enormous effort into constructing a ceremonial site? The existence of Göbekli Tepe creates a profound historical tension. If agriculture did not come first, then what brought people together in such large numbers? Some researchers now propose a radical possibility. Perhaps shared beliefs came first. Perhaps spiritual gatherings required large communal spaces. And perhaps agriculture developed later, not as the cause of civilization, but as a response to it. In other words, people may have begun farming not simply for survival, but to sustain religious or ceremonial gatherings. If this interpretation is correct, then civilization did not begin with food production. It began with meaning. There is another mystery. Excavations have revealed no clear evidence of permanent housing at Göbekli Tepe. It does not appear to have been a typical settlement. Instead, it may have functioned as a ritual center, a gathering place, a site where different groups traveled periodically for ceremonies. And then something even more unusual occurred. After centuries of use, the entire complex was deliberately buried. The enclosures were filled in, stone by stone, layer by layer. This was not destruction by invasion, it was intentional concealment. Why would the builders bury their own monumental creation? Was it symbolic? Was it cultural transition? Was it the end of a belief system? We do not know. And that uncertainty is what makes Göbekli Tepe so powerful. It suggests that early humans were far more organized, creative, and socially complex than we once believed. It challenges the idea that intelligence and structure evolved slowly over time. Instead, it reveals that complex thought and cooperation existed far earlier than our traditional timelines suggest. Göbekli Tepe stands as silent evidence that the origins of civilization are not linear. They are layered, hidden, waiting to be uncovered. Perhaps the most important lesson is this: history is not fixed. It changes with every discovery, and sometimes the past is more advanced than we are comfortable admitting. Göbekli Tepe reminds us that the human story is deeper than textbooks, older than we imagined, and still unfolding. Because the real mystery is not only how it was built, but why we assumed it could not have been.